Well, hip hop doesn't really excite me anymore. Well, the way it used to, for a couple of reasons. For one, after I had this major car accident, I can't memorize lyrics anymore. So I can't remember what people say too often.
God bless.
So that's one thing. Two, everything that's being pushed is so similar. I hear the same song all day long. Three is because I don't think people are actually taking the time to write their lyrics anymore. So if I can kind of guess what you're going to say, I can rhyme with you, and it's easy. And I'm not an MC. I'm regular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it doesn't really show that deepness to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people blame hip hop on the South for going, saying hip hop is bad because the South made it cheap, and hip hop is bad because the East didn't have their voice. And I beg to differ. Like, all music has to grow, and all things have to evolve so you can help make it fresh.
Word.
Like, I don't hate the Migos. I don't like their music. It's not for me. I don't hate them.
Yes.
But give them credit. They're the new Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
They're the new Locks. There's a trio. Like, and they took 1980s cadences and made it hot again. If you can't fault the Migos for that. So I appreciate the Migos.
Yeah, exactly.
Takeoff is a beast too.
Appreciate the artistry.
You gotta give it to them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they even wrote ape shit with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Beyonce using who's that? Offset's lyrics. I mean,
facts.
give them credit. Like they're good.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But appreciation for me comes when I can hear a song and it moves my spirit. Like I can hear a song and I can bow my head, but if my spirit moves, like that's it right there.
Yeah, facts.
I'm gonna ask you about a veteran MC since we brought this up, and we'll vibe off of each other. Then we'll go into your music. How did you like the Nas project?
It was cool. It wasn't what my expectations was like super high, because coming off of Life is Good, it's probably one of his best albums.
that's a mature, great album.
It's an incredible record. My expectations was like really high. And then hearing Nas' album is done, that song off the DJ Khaled joint a couple years back, I think it was 2014, that had me like, oh shit, like here we come. But it was alright, yo. It was okay. It definitely could have more tracks on it. I get the whole 7-song model crap, but it should have had more tracks on it coming from Nas. So he should have been aware that too many people was waiting for that.
Now, here's my rebuttal to you. That's not Nas' album. That's Kanye's album.
That's Kanye's record. Yeah.
First.
Facts.
Second, that was an experimentation album.
Yeah.
Because Nas challenged himself off of non-New York beats with not heavy drums.
Yeah.
Nas has a full album done with Swiss Beats only doing his beats.
That too. Yeah.
He has an album with Premier doing only all the beats.
I heard about that.
So it's like when you listen to a veteran like Nas, right? When I got excited for that, but it didn't meet my expectations for the simple fact not that it's corny. It's just when you have someone. I always tell people I meet, if you're worth gold, never treat yourself like silver. And I think Kanye failed on his part on that album.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
So when I hear MCs talk about other people's music, I tend to shut my mouth because I want to hear what a wordsmith and a person who's deep in the wordplay hears. So let's go to your song Collage, right? I love that song.
Thank you.
Especially I love the video.
Thank you very much.
You know what I'm saying? Even when you tap dancing on people's ankles. The way it looked at it, you know what I'm saying? I liked it. And I want to ask you, when you sit down for a project, like everybody gets on Nas, we talked about Pusha T and the 7. Okay, we can talk about that, but let's go to your project. When you sit down to put a visual or a song together, what is the process that you go through to say, okay, this is mine, and this is the look, feel, touch, every 5 cents I want to touch or have that person experience. How do you put that together to make the listener pay attention?
Well, if I want to take it to that song, and that song was on the album, the colored section. Actually, no, that song was on the mixtape. I'm sorry, the song was on the mixtape called Still Thinking Out Loud, prior to the colored section. The Still Thinking Out Loud mixtape, when I sat down to try to do that project, that was right after I did this mixtape called Thinking Out Loud, which was the first project. And it was really underground. We didn't really put a lot of promotion into it. It was really dark beats and just me just spitting freestyle. So on Still Thinking Out Loud, I really sat out to make something a little bit more universal, something that can be played everywhere. I got a song on there with my kids. Something that you can bump in the car and don't have to turn off because it got too many curses in it because your mama in the car. Or if anything, you would skip past those records and go to a specific song. So when I set out to make that, that was the thought process. Me and my team, we sat down and records just started coming in. It's funny with me. I have a really weird work process, like really, really strange. I'll go into 3 to 2 months of writer's block and won't be writing nothing. Like seriously, my team will be picking beats for me like crazy. I might do a hook for myself or a hook for somebody else or something like that just because, the creative thing just happens. But I'll go into these writer's blocks and then I'll come out of the writer's blocks and pretty much go into this fever where I'm just writing viciously for like 2 months, 3 or 4 or 5, 6 songs. Sometimes I'll finish a whole record. And my friends will be looking at me like, yo, dog, really? Word? You just did? I'm like, yo, yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, boom, boom, boom. It's really weird. It's really strange. Sometimes it hinders me because sometimes I'll get people asking me to do records and I'll be like, shit, I can't come up with nothing. What the hell? Da, da, da. But, under the pressure from there, then it starts flowing. But that's not to get off on a tangent, but that's pretty much what the answer to that is. Like, when we sat out to do that record, we really sat down on some, like, we really want to make this more reachable to everybody else. And that's how we kind of like do it every single project. What do we want to say here? What exactly are we going after? What didn't we say last project? What didn't we touch on last project? What don't people know about me? That's a big thing on my records too. I try to make sure that I include a lot of myself in my story because I want people to really know who I am. I'm not ashamed of that. Like my Facebook page, a lot of people tell me to get a Facebook page, a music page. No, my Facebook page is my real name, Corey Davis, because I want people to know who I am. I'm trying to bring people into me. So that's a big check off when we're sitting down in the process and trying to figure out records. So, yeah.
Now, what's the difference between making a song and making a record? Let's look to your new project. Like, look at how like even how your videos look. I can tell the growth in your character and your rhyme scheme by even how the physical and presentation and the wordplay is.
Wow.
So, like I said, collage is one of my favorites. I like how it came together. Like, walking around the city, the black and whites, the mayor, my man at the end. He's crazy. That was bugged out. You know what I'm saying?
It was a lot of fun shooting. I shout out Lil So Serious too, from that big.
But even with your new stuff, you're not as aggressive. You're more clear, and clarity is something that comes from you with experience. So, what is the difference between making a song and then making a record to you?
A record to me, and my boys always get on me about this because I be like, I want to make a big record. A record to me can live everywhere. To me, a song is kind of like localized, I guess. It's kind of like when you're making a song, it's specifically maybe just for one ear or one kind of type of ear or whatever. To me, when you're making a record, like you're not afraid to do, it can go pop, it can go jazz, it can go everywhere with that record. I have a record on my CD called Know Better with Brianna Marin singing, and it's touching on God, and it's kind of gospel-y, but it also has kind of like a pop feel. And then my man Grumpy from Grumpy's World, he was like, yo, you trying to get in Forever 21 with this record. Like, you want to get it big play. You want this play in gap. And I'm like, yeah. Yes, absolutely. And that's what I mean. Like, I want that type of record. Like, I want it to be on a Target commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like, why just create a song where it's just localized, where it's only played on Hot 97, it's only played on Sway. Not that those things are bad, don't get me wrong. God bless them, they're hip-hop staples, but you kind of wanted to reach everywhere, so I would say that's the biggest difference.
So how does it change as an artist to make a record with another person? Because like I see the Blue Room footage with you and Hope. Shout out to Hope, that's my man. And I mean, like, I'll be talking about how an MC can be on a song, and then you have another person there, and you want to make sure y'all mesh and everything.
Yeah.
There's a playful competitiveness with MCs.
Yeah.
That when you're on the song, you want to wash the other person.
Yeah.
I even seen an interview that Nori did, where he talked to Method Man. It was like, yo, you one of the few MCs that did a song with Biggie that Biggie did not wash. He was like on Tracy Lee album, big wash Tracy Lee.
What?
And then he was like, but on the what? You and Biggie went bar for bar, and it was hot.
Yeah.
So like as like I said, like working with MCs like Hope and everybody else in your squad, what is it like to make the song or make the record with somebody else?
Oh, it's mad fun, yo. It's mad fun. Shout out Squad 2.0, Fonto and Hope. We actually created a project. We had a project where we did about 8 records, and to bounce off of your point, Zay put us together for that reason, because he wanted us to bounce off of each other. He wanted us to come up with something, whereas we're not just creating for ourselves, but we're creating as a group. And he knew we'd come together, and by doing that, he knew we're creating a new sound, and we would bounce off of each other, and it would be a competitive nature, because he knows that we're all competitive. How did I manifest that? Like, the thing with that project was, it was tough at first, because the thing is I never want to come across as I'm trying to take over the record or shape the record or anything like that. But it comes with a lot of trust when you're working with other people. Like, thank God my brothers trusted me a lot from hearing my music, and they asked me a lot about those records. Like, yo, you think the hook should sound this way? Or they asked me to just create the hook or anything like that. But we all set out as a collective in the beginning of that to go like, look, we want this to be big. We don't want this, again, we don't want this to just be localized. You already have a wave, you have a wave, Hope, I have a wave. Like, we need to make this a tidal wave and bring everybody together. So it was already etched in stone before we went into that like, look, no feelings here, we gonna make this as big as possible. So if it ain't dope, if I come with something and if it ain't dope, don't be afraid to tell me. It is what it is. We want the best product possible. So I think once you kind of set that ground stone in the beginning, pretty much is off to the races after that.